What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 67, because we've done 62 5 times this morning.
We're on take number 4, or maybe 5. I don't know.
Are we good? Can I continue when I say big bark?
I say woof. And well, we don't know, but we're just going to keep going. Let's just keep going.
Indeed.
We don't know if we should continue talking because we've tried so many, startup conversations.
Yes.
First we had a disco light in the background, then we had no video, then we had no sound.
Yeah.
But I think now we're good.
Okay.
I see you.
I see you.
I hear
Jake
you.
Sully. Which one's that?
Ooh.
Way of the water coming out soon. Fun game. Speaking of movies, fun game on Friday. We were in costume.
Yes, we were in costume.
Yeah.
And we had some great costumes and one out of the park costume.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I think the other Ryan Knapp, was a bit surprised because I don't think he's seen Endgame, that there was a Big Lebowski version of Thor, is what he called it. So
he's like, who's that guy supposed to be?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you got to see the movie, man.
It was fantastic. He, hands down, was a great winner.
Absolutely. So. Your costume is awesome. That was the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my costume.
Vetrano made it through Doctor Strange without tearing the costume,
yes.
So that's good.
Yes, he kept checking to make sure he hadn't torn anything.
Hadn't created a different type of portal.
Yeah. Can we say that on the air?
Yeah. I mean, you've been bleeped a couple times. That was pretty clean.
Yeah, that was clean.
Okay.
I have. Have I been bleeped?
I don't know. Fact check.
I think we did that with my. So yeah.
Got it.
Anyway, yeah, it was a great costume contest. Another great crowd.
Yeah.
Not a large one, but a great crowd.
Yep.
The game, not so great.
Got tough.
Got really tough. The first half, we were who I thought we would be coming out.
But they are who we thought they were.
But Quad Cities got our number, and they got it well.
Get them again in 2 weeks. 1 week. We play Iowa at home this Friday, and then it's Iowa and Quad Cities again. So
right. And just for the players that do watch the show, you guys can't give up. And I don't know what the halftime speech was, but there were so many errors. We once again beat ourselves. Yeah. So I don't know what's happening there. The teamwork that we saw in first half just didn't come back out after the locker room. And there were silly mistakes, which you can try to overcome. And we did try to. It's just one too many mistakes, and they're up by 10 points.
Incredible catch for Keyshawn, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
I think I saw that one ran back from the IFL right away in a tweet too, because it was a great catch.
It was a great catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Keyshawn, I mean, we have tremendous athletes on our team, so I know it's not athleticism.
Right.
And we know they can play as a team, so it's not that. It's they get themselves out of sync, and then it's just hard to get it back. And then you start getting on a roll, but there's not enough time on the clock anymore.
Yeah.
So just have to do a better job when we're up against Iowa this weekend.
Did you follow any other games this weekend?
I didn't. I had a lot of personal stuff going on, so we were hunkering down with family for the weekend. My father-in-law is going through some stuff, and there's a surgery today, so there's just a lot of stuff going on.
Well, thoughts and prayers.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't think anybody lost that was supposed to lose. Anybody, if you're going by power rankings, I think it was a no surprises weekend, I think.
Other than in Green Bay.
I do think, well, I mean, Arizona's just got crazy football teams right now, but I think Naz got Tucson, which is crazy because Tucson got Arizona last week. So, yeah.
Well, we said those Arizona teams are going to be the ones to watch. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be.
Mogs beat Rod, so Iowa got Bismarck again, so Mogs is cruising. Don't know what other ones went on, but it was pretty standard, unlike Tucson getting Arizona the past week and getting Kevin.
Kind of off kilter.
Kevin did beat up on Massachusetts, though. So
that had to feel. That probably felt good for Kevin to come back.
Yeah.
So.
I think he had 40 in the first half, if I remember correctly.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We had some questions on last week's episode. So I guess we can segue into IFL stuff.
Well, before we do that.
Oh.
Oh. Are we not going to say anything about my hair?
Yes.
What are we going to say?
Annie, the musical?
Oh.
I saved that one for on air. The sun will come out.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
So
Big Mark, your table is flawed.
I thought you split your pants there for a minute. Okay.
I'm good. I'm not going to move.
Are you hurting yourself?
No, I caught part of the table there. We're good.
Okay. All right. Anyway, those of you that have followed the show for a while know that my hair literally fell out post-COVID.
Yep.
And I was bald. I had no hair on my head. It was gone. It was just gone. So I have been wigging it. Wigging?
It's a different version of winging it.
Yeah, but wigging. I have been wearing wigs for the last several months. Worked with doctors as to what I could do.
Yeah.
It's a common occurrence when you have an illness that has a high fever, or in my case, it was migraines. I never got a fever when I had COVID, but my hair literally fell out. So rather than showing up bald everywhere,
Sure.
I decided to get some really cool wigs. And I decided to stop the wigs because summer's coming.
Yeah.
It was like I had chemo. That's how bad my hair was falling out. And now I have this curly thing going on. So it's very, very curly. And I normally have a little wave in my hair, but
Sure.
this is like super curly.
Got it.
So I feel like I got a perm, a fresh perm, but I did not. So anyway, just wanted to clear that up.
Welcome back, Kathy's hair.
In case anybody was wondering, wait a minute, she looks a little different. Yes, I look a lot older because my hair is a lot shorter, but it's back. So here we are. Anyway, so now that that's done, everybody's not confused anymore. Like, who is this chick? Is that her sister? Yeah. You wanted to talk IFL, or you wanted to talk questions?
I'll take the question, which will go into IFL. So the question was, is there any news for expansion teams for 2023? And is Columbus still in for 2023? That question was on YouTube. Thanks for clicking the notification like bell ringing thing. And there's your question.
Let's talk IFL. And actually, it's ironic that you bring that up because I was going to talk a little bit about expansion and how we're dealing with expansion these days. But to answer that question, yes, as of right now, there is nothing holding them back from being in 2023. So the plan is that they will be in our conference for 2023.
Awesome.
We are meeting with a couple of potential owners that would be here in our conference. So that's good news too.
Yeah.
The idea is, we have a cutoff date for getting in those applications. And I believe it's July, but we like to have them in by June so that we can have them decided on by July. And the reason why we want to do that is we want those new owners to come to the final game.
Yep.
We want them to have that whole prep. I mean, the sooner they get in, the better, right? I mean, you know what that's like. It seems like we have a long off season, and then all of a sudden it's the opening game.
Yep.
The other thing that we're looking at, and I guess you guys give us your opinion, we are looking at a 14-game schedule versus the 16-game schedule.
Okay.
Those of you that have followed the IFL, the 16-game schedule came out of the whole COVID situation in trying to make up some ground for games that weren't a season that wasn't played.
Yeah.
So we had gone with 8 home games. The thought is, do we keep the 8 now, or do we go back to 7, which is what we historically were doing?
Yep.
So I know you have an opinion on that.
I do.
What's your opinion?
I want to be 14.
And you want to be 14 mostly because...
you can ask me all the questions you want.
Well, why do you want to be 14? Because a lot of people don't understand what we go through in Green Bay.
We get too warm in Wisconsin and people vanish. And I understand that's not the case in our warm weather seasons. I also think...
Seasons are not seasons.
I'm sorry, teams. Yeah. Yeah, and you'll see it where we were in 6,500, 4,000 land. We're in 3,000 land, and it's still a good crowd, and we'll still have a ton of people out. We give a lot of free tickets out for military night, and that's just who we are. We always believe in that night, and that's the point of that game. It's just tough to get people here late in the season. We're on the back of it getting nuts across the street at Lambeau, all the outdoor concerts, both baseball teams firing up. And I also think it made us unique, and there was more of a sense of urgency to get to a game too, because there were only 7 home games. And you can focus on those 7 themes and do some pretty crazy stuff on big nights. And I have all my reasons, but yeah, we are trending where we're actually doing pretty good. We were trending average attendance wise where we were with a 7-game season, not including the playoff game in 2019. But that probably won't hold as we hit the 3 warm weather ones, right? So that's just the way it is. And that's Wisconsin, and there's no incredible salesperson that can outsell people going to their cabins on the weekend.
Yeah, that's just the nature. I mean, we had some 90-degree weather over the last week and a half, and people went nuts. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. And now it's going to be back down to 60. And
right.
As Vetrano said at the game, it might even snow this week.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You just never know.
So right or wrong, that's just we've had an 18 game if you count the playoff in 2019. Then we had an actual true 18 game during the COVID year.
18
or 8. Sorry, 16. Sorry. Wow. Scratch that. Reverse that. 8 home games. 8 away during the COVID season.
Yeah. So for those of you that have been following the IFL, you know that when we joined the league as owners, it was a start in February. Like February 1, we had the guys come to camp. We watched the Super Bowl as that was our kickoff weekend, and we were playing mid-February and then ending in June.
Right.
And over the last 9 years, it's just slowly crept to middle of March.
Yeah.
Well, if you start in the middle of March, you're not ending until July.
Correct.
I mean, that's just the nature of
Yep.
juggling, dates and whatever. We do have some venues because we share our venues. We all share our venues, whether it's basketball, hockey, mostly hockey. It's hard to get dates for a lot of these teams in that February, March timeframe. So you'll find those of us in the East Conference starting in that February, March without problem. Some of those on the West Coast have issues with dates. We have one, Duke City, she can't book a game until May.
Crazy.
A home game.
Yeah.
Our season's half over by the time May rolls around. So Ryan's absolutely right. The for us in Green Bay, getting people in here in June and July is tough. We rely a lot on that school interaction, and school's out here that second week of June. It's out.
Yeah, and it's not just, you'll look at this coming Friday and you'll look at June 3rd and be like, boy, you could still have schools this game. No principal wants to send stuff home in the midst of school ending, and we respect that, right? Because we want them at our 4 or 5 front games, but that's just a tough ask when all the end of the year, it's just there are some schools out already, some colleges are graduating. It's just we hit the back of May, and it is what it is with schools. And as we try and help other teams in the league, because we've been asked a lot about our school process, I think schools become more important to a lot of teams in our league, and they'll realize that that's hard to get them, or even because of that not wanting to send anything home, even to throw an end of year school game, bring your report card in, is just tough. All the youth sports are firing up. Schools don't want to send something home. It's really tough. So
baseball has started, and as you know, it's crazy. You're gone every weekend. Us having the Friday night games, I think, has helped, will help us, because you leave Saturday morning and you don't come home till Sunday night when you got some of those baseball games. So I'm on the fence. I like the idea of 8, but I don't want to play into July. So I think I'm with you on the 14 games, meaning 7 home games. The other thing is it's then easier to juggle what we do get from PMI.
Sure.
We usually get 10 firm dates. And if we only have to juggle 7, it's a little bit easier from planning the schedule. Again, I go back to the schedule and how things work. Now that we have conferences, it's going to be tough as Todd does the schedule now. I don't have to do it anymore. To balance how many times you're going out of conference, to balance playing the people within your conference enough times. And as we know, this year, your conference is going to play a significant role in the playoffs. So like you had mentioned earlier, we're going to start playing all those conference peeps now to finish out the season. And those games become very, very important. All the games are important for overall record, but that conference play is going to become very important.
Yeah, and I think looking at all that stuff from a league-wise in a big lens is important because you don't want home playoff games with no fans in them. You don't want actual games with no fans in it, right? Like it's fun to be a team that puts people in the building because it helps both teams. You want, when done right, the point of this league is to get those guys seen, have a great game day environment, and get them up and out, right? And that's it feels pretty cruddy, and it's happened in seasons past as a couple of franchises have struggled, right, to play in front of nobody. That's not what we want. So,
right.
Yep.
Right. And there's a recipe there.
Yep.
For every venue. It's a little bit different for every venue because the demographic is a little bit different in every area. But for us, you're right. Lambeau is already starting to do stuff. Players come to town in August when we're going to be having
the
a
hiding
champion.
net has been up because rookies have been out on the field actually while I've been in the office. So yeah.
So we know there's other things going on, just in Green Bay alone, and it's happening everywhere. Throughout the country. We just don't have any other team in our league that literally has their professional football team across the street,
right,
like we do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as far as next season, we're starting to talk about that from an ownership perspective. Those announcements will probably come out pretty quick here, definitely before we play the championship game, which again has been the logos out there, as we announced on the last episode. We did get lambasted, as I assumed we would.
Right.
And to that effect, I just want to say, all of you that think it's easy and effortless to have a home game in your town with a week preparation are goofy. I'm going to say that. You're just goofy. Saying the fans aren't going to go anymore. You know what? A lot of those fans wouldn't have gone to a playoff game. A lot of them would, absolutely. But does that fill an arena? No.
Right.
And will we fill Vegas? Yeah, we will. I'm confident that we will. And the Dollar Loan Center is going to make it so that we fill it. There's betting that's now going to be available for some teams. By the time we have our season next year, there's actually going to be teams that will have it individually within the IFL. Cool. So there's just so much going on that move to Vegas for the championship game really made sense. So that's my IFL update, that 14 versus 16, the shape of the league, and then also our friends coming back, which will be a good, I think when they launch, it's going to be a good rivalry for us, I think.
It was a good IFL portion.
Yeah.
Game this Friday in Blizzard World. Top Gun Night.
Top Gun Night.
Buy one, get one large Bud and Bud Light flight wings for the first 1,500. And on the back of the flight wings, there's actually a buy one, get one free meal at Replay. So do the math. For $12, you could get a free meal, a free beer, and it's at 7:05 on Friday. You should probably come out.
And I'm just going to do a plug for Replay because my favorite little bartendress works there. Her name is Maya. She's not even a year old yet.
You have a baby in a bar.
Baby. Yeah, well, she works with her dad.
I know.
He's a, stay-at-home dad.
He's been around since we started this.
Yeah.
So, yep.
And Replay has great food, fabulous wings. The dry rub is bar none, excellent, sweet heat. But their burgers are fantastic.
Sure. Yep. $2 burgers.
Oh,
yep.
Fabulous.
Yep.
Anyway.
So a great value and a beer night on Friday night. And we're tying it to Maverick coming out because that one is going to be awesome.
Cannot wait to see that.
Colin, guitar player who did the national anthem game 1, is coming back this game to play some Top Gun tunes pregame. So Green Bay Rugby at halftime. So it's a good Friday night.
Talented kid.
Yeah.
Talented kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we should really have him on the show.
Playing guitar.
Yeah, he could zoom in and maybe he could
play the theme.
I was just going to say he should practice the theme so that we can cut to him on Zoom and he can play it. Or he comes in
take
studio.
6 of starting an episode, he can play the theme?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to Big Bar because that's their thing. Hey, but we should probably mention our friends.
Yes. Cornerstone Mortgage.
Good.
Adam Elignovics. Vicky Kropp. Player of the Week coming by the time this is live.
Okay, good.
I didn't have that info when we came on air. Sorry.
All right.
We rely on YouTube, Coach, and other folks to weigh in on that, and I'm just waiting to get it. So
got it. Okay. We do have a player of the game.
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm sure. I did have someone talk to me about, we always talk about the quarterback and the receivers. Yeah. What about an O-lineman?
I know.
What about a DB?
Yep.
And
I think DB's won twice. O-line needs to.
This year, the DBs have won.
Yeah.
We have 12
There was
on the
an
team.
O-lineman up the last week, but Jack also got player of the week from the IFL last week and had 7 touchdowns, so that would have been tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But that does come up. So the big guys are responsible. Usually when an offensive player has an incredible performance,
It's because
tied to the offensive line doing their thing. Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, shout out, big guys. We got you.
On both sides of the ball.
Yes.
You didn't hear because you just kept talking.
I'm
I
sorry.
said we have 12 DBs on the team.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't. You just
Yes.
breezed right
Even
over
our
that.
coach is a DB.
Maybe that's why we got 12 DBs on the team.
Yep.
No, we are not hiding players, and we really don't have 12 DBs on
True.
the team.
Yep.
We have some DBs hurt,
Right.
but I think everybody, as we get into this, that's another reason to play 14. As we get into this point of the season, there are a lot of injured players. We only have so many spots on the roster,
Right.
and we can only have so many IR people on the roster as well. So that's just another reason for shortening the season. Plus, housing is expensive, meals are expensive, all of that stuff. Taking it into the next month because of an extra game being played and
Right.
more bye weeks and all that, it's just tough to do. So
Yeah.
I'm convincing myself on what
this.
on what my words are
We
going
all know
to
what
be.
side of the fence I'm on. So,
Yeah.
But that's for that's not just selfish reasons. I think it just
It's
is
reality.
different too. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a reality there. If we could guarantee all of our home games were when we need them,
Yeah.
but we still wouldn't want. We did 3 back-to-back this season, and I think 2 back-to-back are good home games. But we also don't want our guys on the road 7 weeks,
Right.
coming home, adjusting, and then leaving again 5 days later.
And I
That's
don't know if
tough.
we would have done the 3 back-to-back if we had a choice, right? So if it would have been a 14 game and we had the option of a sooner last game, we might have given up the Easter game to not
True.
play on holiday weekend, right? Because there's it's in April in the sweet spot for us, but it's also 3 in a row, holiday weekend. Who knows? But
I did, now that I'm thinking about this, I did have another question from somebody
Okay.
that wasn't online. And that was, that cave looks really kick blank. Are you making any more? Because I can't get a ticket to it.
working on it.
Okay.
If any business owner wants to write a pretty substantial check,
We could have an Aaron Snow Cave.
we could actually. We could. Peter, you're on the clock. The first
Yeah.
pick in the 2023 Green Bay Blizzard sponsor draft is.
Yes. Ooh, a sponsor draft. That would be kind of cool.
Yes. So we're working on it. It has been talked about because that space is pretty cool. And your team from Trinks will get to enjoy that space on 90s night. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was cool. I had texted your husband. He was down there hanging out with some of the village leadership and had said they never want to go back upstairs. So
That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And
probably
so
sell a season ticket to the cave and vent a second space.
Yeah.
So
Now, doesn't Bismarck have like all around
all
or
pub-
half?
or all table seating, or they had emailed us to see if we were going to the game and said, I'd love to put you at a sideline table. But it's just like the whole seating is like that. It's not this is your space for a
okay.
group to use.
Okay.
I believe you and I could just rent a table. Drew could rent a table, but it's not like a company-wide space.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there are people that have those pub tables closer to the field,
Right.
a premium seat
Yep.
per se. But you're right. You'd have to rent.
Yeah. I haven't seen a good end zone shot of Arizona this year, but I first saw that concept at an Arizona game with 2 end zone suites, one of which Ron always hung out in. And then they also had a premium, like, branded tequila space. And that's where I got the idea of, like, boy, just not everybody wants to hang out in Beer Midland and the Bud Light Cave, or Bud Light Pit, but they want some of those amenities. What do we do? And thank you, Dean Distributing, for making that a reality, and the Rush Center for absolutely killing it. It looks incredible.
Yeah,
So,
it does.
yeah.
Dean did a great job.
Yep.
Speaking of distributors, I do want to talk a little bit about Triangle Distributing.
Sure.
we have a new product that we're promoting as the Blizzard.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Kalo.
It is a hemp infused
Seltzer
drink.
water. Yep.
It is fantastic. So if you come to D2 after the game, we do have samples there. I tried it for the first time.
Yeah.
And I am not a seltzer drinker.
Yeah.
Because every time I have seltzer, it just,
Sure.
I get heartburn. Okay, I'm going to admit it. It's an old people thing. I get heartburn, so I do not drink seltzer. And I had warned her that, hey, I'm going to try this, but I'm not going to like it. And there I was, every single one, and it was great. I did go looking for it.
Yeah.
I did not find it where they told me I would find it.
Got it.
So I think they're still in the works of placing.
Sure.
And then people will say, well, Kathy, you're like anti-drug and now you're drinking hemp. Okay. So here's the thing, people. It's not that I'm anti-CBD or anti-THC. It's there's a time and a place and there's an application, right? Am I going out and smoking a blunt every day? No. Do I use CBD, non-THC on my bod? You bet. I have a toe that bothers me all the time. I use it. Hemp is a little bit different. Yes, it's a cannabinoid, but it's different than the other stuff. So that was a big word, cannabinoid.
It made me think of that little dude that was the pizza guy, the Noid.
The Noid, which kind of reminded me of the Vision that was there. When I first saw Vision at the game on Friday, I went, is that the Noid? No, that's wrong character. Anyway, it's a great drink. You'll start to see it more and more.
Sure.
In the community, and give it a try because it's fabulous. And I'm being told, I did not try it, it's great as a mixer.
Yes.
With mixer.
Yep.
So, yeah. It's a good energy drink. It's a good repair. It's a good level you out kind of thing.
Yeah, so check it out at the post-game party. There's definitely people from Kalo out there getting the word out at our post-game party at E2's.
Excellent.
It was an action-packed episode.
It was. There was a lot of stuff there. Lots of stuff. Don't forget to send us your questions, your comments, because we'd love to hear from you and be able to report back.
Absolutely. Should we hit him with it?
Let's hit him.
Let's hit him with it.
Go Blizz.
Don't forget to like, follow,
subscribe,
share,
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.